Eating at home. The second category of consumption that we could consider is our eating at home, which will probably be the vast majority of our consumption, at least in terms of number of times of consuming things. Because for most people, they'll have a breakfast of some sort at home, they'll have their evening meal most days there, and a proportion of their lunches. And there's a few considerations that we can make that will then mean that eating at home is done in a way that takes us towards our goal. We could perhaps look at what we have in stock, because if we have stuff in the cupboards, in the fridge, out on the side, chances are it's going to get eaten. If we look instead to make sure that we only have things in, or at least readily viewable, that will allow us to eat in a way that will take us in the direction we want to go in, we're more likely to do that. Why tempt ourselves by having those things there? Doesn't mean they're inherently bad or we can never have them, but chances are if they're there, we're more likely to eat them. And I know this just as well as anyone. We had friends round last week. One of them bought a big box of celebration chocolates. They've stayed out on the side of the kitchen, and I've probably eaten half of them. If they weren't there, or even in the cupboard, I wouldn't have done. So we can look at what we have in stock. We can look at just creating meals that are an appropriate portion size for someone of our size and activity level. If it's a large family meal, we can just serve ourselves that portion at the side and put the rest in the fridge, rather than having it out on the table, so it's tempting to have more. We can always go back and get more if we want to, but we're likely to consume less overall. We can look at a time of cut-off for eating. Some people call it intermittent fasting. It's just periods of not eating. We can just decide that we don't eat past a certain time of the day, because there's nothing inherently fattening about eating after 7 p.m. But chances are that tub of Ben & Jerry's and pack of sweets on the sofa watching our favourite box set is what sent us from deficit into surplus. That Ben & Jerry's and sweets would be equally fattening in a surplus at any time of day, but we don't have a tub of Ben & Jerry's and a packet of sweets for breakfast. So, in short, look at your eating at home as a single category and look at what changes you can make that, again, you're equally happy to do, that are equally easy to do. Don't make it harder for yourself than it has to be, and make some tweaks to what you do at home that will allow you to create the average that take you in the direction that you want to go.